And welcome back to Smart Martial Arts, the YouTube channel where we go over everything martial arts. In this video, I'm going to be talking about probably the second easiest kick and the most important kick. That being the front ball kick or the front kick. I say second because I feel like the instep kick, which is this one, whatever you call that, or kick on the top of my foot, is the easiest because now I'm just coming up and I can do that at any time I want. Where this one is, I'm going more out with it instead of just coming straight up. So that's why it's the easiest one. Also with that, let's talk about the more common kick, the roundhouse. If I want to do what I call a proper roundhouse, I need to get my entire body into it. I need to turn my hips, I need to turn my shoulders, I need to do this, I need to get everything in at the same time. That is kind of a tricky thing for people just to kind of do, especially being stuck on other things that are happening in the scenario. Where if they're coming in, maybe I've never practiced going back and setting up a roundhouse kick, anything like that, where I can do the front ball kick, or the teep, whatever you want to call it, and I can do it two ways. One, the first way is the teep, where I don't really need any power. I can just, they walk towards me, and I just kind of put my foot somewhere where it shouldn't go. Whether that be like the thigh, the hip, the stomach, if you're tall enough and flexible enough, to the face, if you really want to do that. But all that is just going up here. I don't need to do any power. I just need to put my foot right there. However you get there. The second way is just the Sparta kick version of it, where I'm just driving everything I got through this guy. And even that one isn't too hard, because I think most people who've done really anything with their legs at one point have been like, oh, I can probably kick this tree down, I can break something, and then they just kind of put everything behind it. So it's kind of a kick that you can already kind of tell how to do. So now I'll talk about different ways I can use it to maybe set up my other stuff. I think we'll do like 3 or 4 different tiers depending on how much I can come up with. The first one is just the basic. I don't want to actually do anything because maybe I'm not skilled enough and don't practice enough, or I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just want them to have something that they need to deal with. All that is just to bring your foot up any way you can. As long as your foot touches their body at any point in time, that's all you need. This could be used in a way to distract them, obviously, where if you're going to throw your leg up there, they have to address that, and then that might cause them to drop their hands, step back, step aside, anywhere where you can go to maybe corral them so you can get away, or a second to be like, oh, I'm good, and then you can leave. The second way is now, I'll say the teep. I think this is probably the easiest one that's not just like, The only problem with this one though is timing is kind of a bitch. Where if we are this close to each other and he starts walking towards me, it's hard to get my foot up and do something productive right here. So if I'm further away, let's say, just normal conversation distance, what I think is like 6 feet or something like that, then that's fine. I can start to notice when they start to walk towards me, and I can just put my foot up and deal with that. That way they stop, and if I time that right or I place it right, they might double over depending on if I hit the hip hard enough. Now, the third way that I can use this is the Sparta kick method I talked about a little bit earlier, where I can tell something's gonna go wrong or is going wrong, and I don't want this person to be something that I deal with, and I just boot them away and hopefully don't break the mirror behind it. All that is I'm just doing a normal kick. At this point, I don't have to wait for them as much as the teep, or if I just kind of do a teep, it doesn't do anything. But if I do a push kick or a Sparta kick, we'll call it that, then they go away. Only problem with that is now you have to explain, why did you throw this guy 10 feet backwards when he was just trying to go around you? So this one is more aggressive. If you can sell it, then you're good. But that's third way. Just absolutely annihilate them with this push kick. Put everything you got through it into them, and hopefully knock them down. That way you can leave, keep going, getting yourself time to get some help, pull out your phone, pull out your weapon, anything you have to give yourself that time. Now the last one is kind of a more advanced way of doing this. You're probably not going to do it for like, teach me something, one thing before I leave. I'd be like, okay, all this. But if you came back like a second time, or later on in your journey, now you start getting with fakes. Where one of the most successful fakes that I've really ever used is like the Superman punch or Superman whatever, which is basically I am like throwing kick and then I'm doing that. So I can use that. Most people might not react well with a kick, where if I do that, now they shoot their hands down, they back up, or they kind of freak out. If I can get that response from somebody, now I use something else that I want to do. Here, bang. Use that to set up what you really wanted to do, or something that might be more efficient or more effective. Because there are a few ways you can block this kick. Let's say if you were going for that, I just kind of turn sideways. It won't be as effective where if I just kind of like took it, squared off. So, throw it, fake it. Now, extra tidbit. Obviously you can do this with basically any kick. Roundhouse, same thing. That one, same thing. Crescent kick, any kick that goes toward them directly, not like a spinning kick, is a good one to do because it makes them think, oh boy, I have that, and be that. Now, the last thing I'll cover is my personal favorite kick, which I think we put up against this 2 weeks ago? I think that was a video 2 weeks ago. I don't know. The side kick. Bang. Where now it's a little bit more safe, a little bit more advanced, but it can kind of do basically the exact same thing, just what I think is better. However, if you watch that video, we did the scientific method and we found out that I was in fact wrong, and this kick is the better one to do. But I don't like that answer, so I'm going to ignore it. This one, now, instead of having to be more squared off, now that they have more of me to deal with, I can turn sideways and they have less of me, and I think I might have a little bit more reach, depending on what I kick with. I'm a little bit more open to do stuff. I can also go off of different things, where if I realize this isn't going to work, fake that, go into a hook kick, fake that, go into a roundhouse. It opens up a little bit more. Instead of if you don't want to do that, you here, bang. Kind of do a little bit of like question mark kick. So that's where I would say the advanced world's best kick. Dare I say the front ball kick? I don't know. We're gonna go with that. Would be the side kick. Where now I've kind of just opened up a little bit more options. It's kind of like going from, you know, a Glock, a normal Glock, where yeah, they're gonna run like 99 point whatever percent of the time. And now I add the extra 1%, a little pizzazz, a little chef's drizzle of salt, and do the side kick. Basically the same thing. I just now have more things to choose from, and it's a little bit more safe, but it might now be a little bit more handy. Where I go from a normal Glock, I put a better trigger on it, make it a little bit more weight balanced, different slide, different iron sights, maybe a red dot, you know, that's what it could be. This could be the red dot version of your front kick. However you want to tell it, that's the way it is. And I'm going to go off away from my side kick, which is my favorite kick and the best kick. But just for ease of anything, the front ball kick, as I mentioned a lot in this video, and I gave you reasons why, is the best one kick to learn. However, that does not mean go out and take a 2-hour class, like teach me the front kick, and then never do anything else, because the best way to defend yourself is to know a lot more. That way, if they know more, it kind of cancels each other out. Where if you just have this, and that doesn't work, but all you've done is, and that doesn't work and you're screwed, I don't want that. It's not a good thing. So you get into the habit of, okay, man, I'm really good at this. Man, I am super good at this. Man, I am super good at getting my guard, you know? The best way to defend yourself is to go and actually learn martial arts, whether it be jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, karate, anything you want. Even better would be to pair them up. But that is the last I'll say about that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys agreed with me. If not, you're wrong, sorry. But that's all I have to say. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.